you ready, team?
This is a vignette for the operational employment of XCL Labs' Blue Sandbox, utilized at the Joint Readiness Training Center at Fort Polk, Louisiana by the OP-4 1st Battalion, 509th, Geronimo, for the rotation against 1st Brigade, 82nd Airborne Division in September of 2025. In the early morning hours of 13 September of 2025, 1st Brigade, 82nd Airborne Division jumped into Geronimo Drop Zone to seize a foothold in the fictional country of North Torbia and establish an enlargement to prepare for combat operations. By 15 September, the forces of 1A2 began to conduct a movement to contact towards the town of Shugart-Gordon. Meanwhile, Geronimo forces established hasty defensive positions along avenues of approach with Able, Baker, and India companies to disrupt and to delay 1A2's movement while they built up defensive strongholds vicinity of Shugart-Gordon. Now we'll look at how the staff arrayed their forces utilizing Blue's Sandbox MCU tools. We've switched over to street maps to give a clearer view of the terrain. The first thing that they looked at was maneuverability. As you can see, the MCU identifies restricted terrain, unrestricted terrain, and severely restricted terrain. This is critical to understand where 1A2's avenue of approaches are. Geronimo planners position their forces maximizing the terrain, turning the enemy into their engagement areas. Next, we'll examine how they selected positions for their reinforcements. Because their reinforcements were mounted, they looked at road networks. In this instance, they could choose unimproved roads, high-speed roads, which there's none, and improved roads. You can see that they chose an intersection that provides access to multiple sectors across their AOR. This placement ensured mobility, flexibility, and rapid response capability throughout the fight. Here you can see the planners' work. They built out defensive positions, identifying opposing forces and using tactical graphics to depict each engagement. Each color on the map represents a different engagement type that occurred over 2 days, showing which forces were in contact and where. At the top of the page, you'll see the ENCOFOM engagement data. In this example, the friendly forces faced the enemy at a ratio of 1.21 to 1. You'll also see the effectiveness before and after the engagement, along with friendly and enemy losses. Below that, the health bar shows the condition of each force. They include personnel, equipment status, supply, and in this instance, it's Class 5, and finally fatigue, or the overall impact of the engagement on the force. For the elements from 182 and the OP-4, the results show near parity. That means the southern element could likely accomplish its mission for the OP-4. You'll see here that in the center, the OP-4 has the advantage, largely because they have a mechanized force. Now we shift to the north, things change. Here you'll see one platoon defending against 3 infantry companies, which puts it slightly outmatched. This insight allowed Geronimo 6 to make key decisions, reallocating resources, reinforcing with additional forces, and resupplying with additional classes of supply. In the end, because the planners used Blue Sandbox, they were able to understand the environment and visualize the engagements, identifying areas that they needed to address. The force was able to delay the enemy for 3 days. It was long enough to strengthen their positions in vicinity of Shugart-Gordon. In the end, Blue Sandbox didn't just run simulations. It defined understanding, and that understanding is power. Blue's agentic AI didn't predict, it perceived, and with that it read the terrain, understood spatial relationships, and defined enemy compositions in seconds. With that knowledge, the staff could visualize the operation before execution, turning uncertainty into understanding, and that understanding into an advantage, allowing them to visualize, decide, and act with greater clarity than ever before. That is what decision dominance looks like, when AI enables humans to think faster, not just react.